Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today we are going to explore some of the new cosmetics company, Flesh Beauty. Apparently it's made by essentially Revlon. It's like their higher end brand. Names of these products are gross. No, they're only gross if you're a pervert. Anyway, but I've been trying these out for a month now. I have everything that I own that's Flesh Beauty is on my face. So when I talk about each product, we'll talk about the price, if it's worth it, but you'll also see me applying it to my face today, just so you can get an idea of how it actually works, how you can use it, and what it looks like as it's being applied. So let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the probably number one thing I've been asked about, and it is their stick foundation. The name of it is oh, they don't even have it on here. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's their Firm Flesh Thick Stick Foundation. Okay, this little baby is $18. And I have to be honest, I ordered it, a month ago when it first came out, really. When I opened it, I was like, what the small, like, what? That's $18? So I was a little perturbed, to say the least. So I was like, well, this crap better be like really good. So I got in the shade 2. It's definitely too light for me. However, I'm wearing it today. It works. You'll see as I'm applying it right now, I like to just take the stick. I like to just swipe it onto my face, and I have used brushes with it and I think it applies just fine. I've also used sponges with it. So you can see here, I am just mixing it with my sponge on my other cheek just so you can get an idea of, you really can use it either way, but I think most people use a brush. Using your fingers, I mean, I have taken it and dabbed it. Like I've got a little cut right here. It's a long story. It involves skincare. It involves skincare, a tool, and the fact that I'm an idiot. Anyway, this I have used like with my finger to apply over that actually today. And because it was so light, it's like brightened in that area. But anyway, so if I were to buy it again, I would get probably the shade 3 or 4. I'm leaning towards 4. Anyway, let's talk about how this performs. I feel like it's better than I thought it would be, but it's certainly not my favorite stick foundation. Stick foundations are tricky because you typically want them to be creamy so that they can blend out, which I think this blends out okay, but I kind of feel like you have to tug at it when I'm using a brush. That's why my preferred method would be with the sponge. It's moist, so you can kind of still use the sponge to spread it around, but you can also still tap it in so it's looking a little bit more natural. My biggest gripe with this is I don't feel like it looks super natural on the skin, and if you've been watching my channel for the past few years, you know that I've certainly moved more towards more skin-like foundations. And I actually already filmed, if it's up, I'll link it. If not, stay tuned. I filmed a video of my top 5 foundations that look like skin, where they don't look fake, they don't look like they're sitting on top. So if that's up, I'll link it. I was very excited about that video, and it's like half drugstore, half high-end, so there's a good mix. Okay, anyway. I just don't feel like this looks super skin-like, but I have it on today. I don't think it looks terrible. Like, I can see myself using this again if I got the right shade, which I really might, and travel-wise, yes, it's $18, which I do think is a little high for the amount you get. I mean, like really high. However, a little bit does go a long way, so I don't feel like I'm gonna use this up in 2 weeks if I use it every day. I do feel like it spreads around enough that, it's not gonna be used up that quickly, but again, I would say, honestly, the best stick foundation I've still ever found is that Hourglass Vanish foundation stick. I feel like that spreads super easily. It still doesn't look super natural, but it looks more natural than this does because it is just a little bit creamier. But I don't think this is terrible. I could see myself traveling with it. That's where I was going. Because of the small size, I could see myself traveling with it because it does have good coverage. I do think it covers pretty well, like a medium to full, and I do think you can kind of layer it on top of itself to get even more coverage. So if that's what you're looking for, I think you'd like it. I think the way that I'll end up using this the most would be by applying it first to like my cheeks where I need the most coverage, and then going on top of it with maybe a more dewy looking foundation or tinted moisturizer, just because I don't feel like I need a lot of coverage up here. And when I applied this, I don't apply it to this region right here because I noticed like the peach fuzz I have and just my skin, I feel like all foundation looks really obvious right here. So those are my thoughts on this. It's not a must-have, but I don't think it's terrible. Hopefully I explained my thoughts on it well. I gotta turn on the fan, it's so hot. Guys, I love being a YouTuber. Like, it's hit me the past week, like, The days that I can sit down and film, I get so excited and I love my job. And I feel like in this random video, I should thank you guys because I really do love my job and it's fun to me. And I'm thankful that I still feel that way about it. And I hope that comes through in my videos. And thank you. Thank you for watching my videos and for making this a job for me. And okay, move on, just random thoughts with Jessica. Let's talk about the thing that I loved the most. This took me by surprise. I've tried many, many highlighters, especially powder highlighters in my life. And this is their powder highlighter in the shade Jump. They have a couple of shades. I'm pulling it up. They sell Flesh, by the way, at Ulta. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. They have 6 shades, which actually kind of surprised me. That's awesome for a highlighting powder. This is the shade Jump. I think this is beautiful. This is a little bit of a thinner foundation powder than I've used in a while. And because of that, that was like there we go. So there's like a full-on swatch. It doesn't like jump right out at you. And that's what I think is so beautiful. It definitely has an iridescent kind of quality to it, but it doesn't jump out at you where it just looks like a strip. I think it can, but you know what I'm saying. This is more of a lighter highlighting powder. It's like light medium because it definitely packs a little bit more pizzazz, a little more punch to it, but it's not one of those stark highlighting powders. So if that sounds like you, I think you'd like this. So this for me would be like, oh, I'm going out, I want like more of a highlight, but I'm kind of moving away from those really, really bright highlighters. So I'm really digging this. I pulled a Tati and I put it on my shoulders. Look. So it's great for that too. I love the shade. I feel like it applies really easily. It's kind of foolproof. $26 is obviously, this is a more higher end brand. I don't know why I'm putting it in quotes. It is a more higher end brand. The prices are higher, but I do think this is worth it. It's a very, very nice highlighter. I'm drinking cold coffee. Holla if you ever, please, who doesn't ever drink cold coffee? Like, I feel like that's life. You make the coffee. Okay, this is my second cup of coffee, but you make the coffee. You drink the first cup, like I'm like, glug, 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 glug. And then I go make my second cup maybe an hour later and I drink about 4 sips and now it is cold because I've been doing other things like getting ready. Anyway, it's cold. But raise your hand if you microwave your coffee because I am guilty of that every single day of my life. Learned that one from my father. He's the king of microwaving coffee. Let's talk about the lip product. I'm wearing it today. Does it look like I'm wearing anything? That's what I thought. It's their Fleshy Lips lipstick. It's $18. They have 4 shades. I have it in the shade Lick. It's like a tinted lip balm. It really is. This is so close to my lip color. I mean, you can almost barely tell, but it is kind of pretty. I have to admit, I was prepared to not roast this lip color, but just kind of say like, it's okay. But the more I've worn it, the past few days especially, I'm like, it actually looks nice. It's literally my lip color, but better. You can see the flesh through it. And I think that's the whole idea of this brand is, you know, enhancing your natural features. I feel like it's similar to Glossier, but with like a little bit more color to all of these products, which I like. And so that makes sense that the highlighter, you can still see through it. This lip product, you can see through it. Now, they have real lipsticks. I didn't buy any of those because frankly, I'm like, I have plenty of lipsticks. Most brands can do lipsticks pretty well, but more of a tinted balm. I was a fan of this. Now, keep in mind, this is, I think I just wiped off the swatch, but this shade is a much lighter color. So if you have super pigmented lips, I think this would look really, really light on you. So you might look at the other shades they have. I like it. Would I buy another shade? No, I think I found the one I would want. But this is one of those products I'm gonna keep in my purse. It's the most perfect thing while I'm out shopping, my hair's in a bun and I just kind of stick this down, or my hair's down. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm obsessed with like buns. That sounds funny. Buns, 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 buns. Let's talk about the eyeshadow palette because that's the other thing a lot of people were asking about. The palette is $38. It's their Fleshcolor eyeshadow palette. It is kind of that like nicer cardboard with kind of a matte feel to it. Here are the shades. So you've got 6 kind of shimmery shades and then 3 mattes on the bottom. Here's the deal. The shimmers, I'll show you the swatches right now. The shimmers really are more of a satin finish and not really like a glittery, shimmery, see it from space kind of a look. It's just not. It really is more satiny. The mattes are kind of hit or miss. So for example, the look I did today, I'll show you right now me applying it. I'm using kind of the medium brown, which is a great, great matte shadow. I feel like it blends really well. I always use that in the crease when I use this palette. And then I put on the kind of more bronzy color all over the lid. That's my favorite shimmer, but there is fallout, so just keep that in mind. I probably should have done my eye look first, but well. I really, really like that shade. That's my favorite shimmer in the palette. Then we've got this dark brown that I put on my outer corner, and I just feel like it's okay. I feel like it's a little bit patchy, so I always have to dip back into the medium brown to kind of meld it together. But I do think the final look is still nice. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I just feel wishy-washy about this palette. I ended up using the bright pink color on my lower lash line, and even with wetting my brush, I never feel like I can get this as punchy as it looks here. And again, I feel like that's the theme with all of these products. They're more see-through. So I feel like even these shadows, some of them are just a little more see-through than I want them to be. And I don't want them to be that transparent. I want them, especially a color like that, to really be punchy. So I feel like it's okay. And I actually like the look that it ended up with today. And I like the pinkish purple. But this is never going to be a go-to palette for me, even without that color. Because if that throws you off like it throws me off, I was like, okay, well, let's look at it without that color. And even still, I'm like, it's nice, but like this white. I ended up throwing it on my lid almost as a shadow topper because it was just kind of this weird icy color. And I was like, well, I don't want that on my brow bone. It's too icy for me. So I literally took just a little bit. I even wiped that off and I tapped it onto the lid as like a shadow topper. And I feel like it's okay. Like, I don't know. The gold is really pretty. So if this right here is like your favorite color ever, and then you also like neutral palettes, I think you'd like this. And if you've already bought it, I mean, like I've already bought it. I'll use it for a little while longer. This I could see being something I eventually declutter unless I like find a holy grail look with it. But every look I've done, I felt like looks okay, but it's no better than anything else I already own. So if you haven't bought it, I don't know that I could put my stamp of approval on it because I just think it's kind of hit or miss. The blush I'm wearing today, this is their blush in Hug. And it's a lot smaller than I would have guessed for reference. This is the highlighter. So it's a lot smaller than it, which is fine. Again, blush you don't use very much each day. It has like this, it has a mirror and it has like this little like fingerprint on it. It's a powder blush. And it's kind of cute. I think it's kind of cute. But it's big enough that my brush fits just fine in it. And this is more of a peachy shade. It definitely packs a punch. I kind of expect it to be a little more sheer based on the other products. It is not. But I think it's a really nice color. So this is one I've been using, honestly, every day for a few weeks. I mean, off and on with other ones I'm trying. But I've used it, so I guess not every day, Jessica. I've been enjoying this blush. I feel like the staying power is there. I think this paired with the highlighter is really, really beautiful. Okay, another product I tried is their liquid highlighter. This is their Ripe Flesh Glisten Drops. It's $28. I didn't realize it was that much because I bought these a while ago. I'm gonna show you me applying them. So it's got a little stopper that sucks it up into the thing. Very technical terms here on my channel. And so I'll usually put it onto my hand and then grab a wet sponge to apply it to my face. I don't like applying it with my finger. I just don't. This is actually a beautiful liquid highlighter. Again, you're not gonna see it from space, but it's a really natural looking glow. And that is why I really like this. I have it in the shade, by the way, Aura. It has a couple different shades. Here's the deal. That's a lot for a liquid highlighter when I feel like every single drugstore brand has some sort of liquid highlighter that looks exactly the same. Now, some of the liquid highlighters at the drugstore, I do feel like they can look a little tinny or icy where you feel like, okay, this is too much and now I can't blend it in and it looks like a weird stripe. I feel like this does look a little more natural and I was surprised by that. So I'll continue using this and I really, really like it, but I don't think you have to spend $28. A great example of an amazing drugstore product is from Wet n Wild. It's their Hello Halo. I like the shade Halo Goodbye, but this has a doe foot, which again, you can still apply the same way, but then you can apply it to your face and I feel like it literally gives the exact same glow. So honestly, unless again, you're like dying to try it or you're like obsessed with the cute packaging, because it is like nice glass packaging, although so is this. I feel like these are like the exact same product. Just saying. I'm working on a dupes video. This will probably be in it. So all in all, I feel like none of the products were absolutely horrendous, but definitely if I had to pick my favorites for myself now that I own them, it would certainly be the highlighting powder. And like I said, I really do like this. I think it's a great product. And the blush. I feel like the lip product is nice, but I don't need any more. I don't think it's anything like earth-shattering, life-changing. The eyeshadow palette, I think I shared my thoughts on pretty well, just wishy-washy. And then the Thick Stick, I think is just okay as well. So those are my thoughts. I don't know, you know, after playing with 6 of their products, am I dying to try any more from them? Not necessarily. I bought what I was genuinely interested in. They have a liquid lipstick. They have some kind of like weird jelly-like product that I'll put a picture of it on the screen. I had it in my cart and I removed it because I was like, you know what? I have no interest in that. Let me know if you've tried any other Flesh products. What are your thoughts on them? Are there any other ones that I really should think about picking up? Should I do a part 2 review of like all of the rest of their line? Let me know. If the interest is out there, I'm certainly willing to do it in the name of science, but I'm really not like dying to try more, which kind of makes me sad. So I hope this review was helpful for you guys in your pursuit of the best makeup products out there. I know I'm always pursuing that. If you'd like to see my best and worst of other brands, I've done one for Flower Beauty. I will link that below. I need to do an updated one though, because I've tried more of their products. But anyway, I've done a lot of best and worst of different brands. I think I did Pixie as well. I'll link my favorite ones of those down below if you're wanting to see some more best and worst from different brands. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.